Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, Bitcoin is starting a bull market if these criteria are met. I think most of us can at least agree that Bitcoin is going to start a new bull market at some point and return to all-time high at some point, but the methodology by which we're going to actually get there is still very much up for debate, and people have very different views on it. In this video, I'm going to show you guys the most direct and, in my opinion, one of the most plausible ways that could happen, that being entering and starting a new bull market, and it could happen relatively soon. So in today's video, I'm going to show you some of the warning signs, some of the early indicators that is about to happen. You're going to want to watch out for the things I'm going to mention in today's video because it's going to be useful in predicting the start of new bull markets. And of course, if you can predict the start of a new bull market, you can trade a new bull market. If you guys want a better understanding of how bull markets start, how they get confirmed, and how our current market might actually develop into one, I encourage you guys to continue watching this video as I think you're going to get a lot of value from it. If you do get a lot of value from this video, guys, consider hitting that like button for the YouTube algorithm, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below. We're trying to get to 30,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I'd love to see you join our community. But before we dive on into it, guys, I do want to remind you of the sponsor of our channel, which is the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. As you guys know, there are over 1,000 students in the academy. They're getting access to 34 high-quality videos, which constitute over 10 hours of content, teaching you everything from basics to expert-level analysis in a well-structured program. If you guys are interested in learning technical analysis before the start of the next bull market, so you're prepared for the next bull market, I encourage you to check out the link down below and use the Christmas coupon, Christmas 2019 at checkout to get an extra $40 off. And if you guys want to talk to some of our students, you can join the Discord server down below and get some private testimony from our students as to what they think about the academy so that you guys can make an informed purchase. But anyway, guys, without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. As you guys will well know, Bitcoin has broken bullish. Huzzah! Oh, I've always wanted to do that. Anyway, guys, what I wanted to talk about here is that in yesterday's video, we actually predicted this happening. In this video right here, Bitcoin heading up to $8,168, we predicted that Bitcoin was going to break bullish out of this consolidation pattern, this ascending triangle pattern, and we predicted it with a quite high level of certainty that Bitcoin would be rallying and potentially rallying up to around 8,150. Turns out we were right in that video because Bitcoin actually broke bullish before the video was able to be done editing, so, you know, that we were right, I guess. But the reason that's important, guys, is because Bitcoin got above a very key level of resistance, and we're going to be talking about this one at length in today's video. That is the 20 exponential moving average. There is a lot for us to cover in this video, a whole lot, but this is one of the first things I want to start with. The reason this breakout is so significant, guys, is because it means that Bitcoin has done something that it has not done in quite some time. Bitcoin has tried to get above this level of resistance many times, including about 3 or 4 days ago after we rallied 15% in the span of about 10 hours. Bitcoin, so far anyway, was not able to get above that 20 daily exponential moving average, and therefore we were not able to start a new uptrend because you really need to get above that to confirm one. The reason Bitcoin breaking bullish here is so important is not because Bitcoin moved 5 or 6%. The reason it's important is because Bitcoin got above that key level of resistance, which is now support. And guys, before we get into predictions and before we get into how Bitcoin could actually start the bull market, I need to do some analysis on the market to show you guys what I personally think of the current market setup. At the moment, it's not only the 20 daily exponential moving average I'm looking at, it's also the 20 weekly exponential moving average I'm looking at. The reason I'm saying that, guys, because like I said, a lot of what we're doing here is longer term analysis. It's bull market forming analysis. It's how Bitcoin can actually move into that state of bull market territory that we want it to move into. And one of the ways it needs to do that, guys, it needs to get above the 20 weekly exponential moving average. As you guys can see, during a bull market, Bitcoin is above this moving average. That's one of the key indicators of that. And then also, like I said, since we're going to be discussing the 20 so much, out on the monthly chart, we're getting a bullish prediction from it as well. As you guys can see, during the previous bear market, the reason we fell down to around $6,000 and stayed down there for so long was because of this 20 monthly exponential moving average. When Bitcoin fell below that, Bitcoin fell 50%, and right now, luckily, Bitcoin has not fallen below that, or our $5,300 price target will come into play. Since Bitcoin has not done that, it looks like we very well may be able to bounce from here, and that would be a very bullish development, one that could allow for Bitcoin to move into a new bull market, if and only if we stay above the monthly 20 EMA. But guys, there's a lot more bullish technicals going on the chart. I mean, first of all, let's look at the MACD while we're at it. The MACD is quite bullish on the daily chart right now. In fact, the MACD is diverging, and it's accelerating in its divergence. As you can see, our divergence has been continuing, but we've also been diverging more and more and more over the last few days as Bitcoin has broken bullish and given MACD a reason to diverge bullish. Interesting things going on the weekly chart also, guys. Bitcoin is starting to converge bullish and it's starting to accelerate in its convergence of bullishness. As you guys can see, we had a couple of green histogram bars right here, but they were essentially the same. MACD was just pretty much going straight down. But now our MACD line is starting to move up to hit that signal line, and you can see that the convergence over the last 2 weeks is starting to continue and it's starting to accelerate. While we're doing this daily, weekly, monthly kind of stuff, let's look at the monthly chart as well. Since Bitcoin has managed to rally about $600 or $700 ever since we made our video on a $5,300 Bitcoin prediction, the MACD on the monthly chart has actually converged and it's kind of canceled out this cross so far. Now, don't get me wrong, basically no matter what Bitcoin does this month, we're going to have a bearish MACD cross, but it's interesting that we've managed to put that off a month perhaps. Especially if we keep moving to the upside. I mean, these lines are basically touching perfectly, so there's not even really a histogram bar here. Furthermore, guys, like I said, we're going over a bunch of technicals and then we're going to get to some predictions. But there is a lot of groundwork that needs to be laid. There's a lot of analysis that goes into these predictions. I don't just predict off of one technical indicator. You guys know that's one of the cardinal sins of analysis, is to make a prediction based off of one indicator. And there are a lot of indicators going into this video. I have a huge list of notes over here on my other screen. One of the things I want to show you as well is out on the weekly chart, because guys, I don't know if you know about Japanese candlestick analysis. You probably do, or at least you've heard of it, maybe not by that name. But one of the ways that you can do analysis on the market is by looking at the wicks and seeing what they're doing. And as you can see, we have a long lower wick, a very long lower wick here on the weekly candle representing the 16th of December that week. And there is literally no upper wick. That's a very bullish sign. And as you guys can see, when you actually start researching candlestick analysis, if you go to this article, the very first candlestick type that comes up in this 16 patterns every trader should know, the very first one that shows up is exactly what we're looking at. We're looking at what's called a hammer. The reason it's called a hammer is because it looks like a hammer. And normally it's a bottoming pattern. Normally it's a reversal signal. And that's a pretty big deal, guys. Candlestick analysis isn't talked about too much on YouTube, but it is used by traders and it does play an important role. Furthermore, guys, while we're on the topic of candlestick analysis, let's jump over to something that we talked about in the Academy. We talked about Heikin Ashi candlestick charts here in the Academy. I don't use them on the channel that much because, quite frankly, I don't see them being useful all that much. But they are important and people do trade off of them, just like everything else we've talked about. If we switch over to Heikin Ashi, we're going to see some interesting trends going on right now, guys. First of all, out here on the weekly chart, we just saw a green Heikin Ashi candlestick for the first time in quite some time. In about a month and a half, we've had 6 red Heikin Ashi candles. And if you guys don't know what Heikin Ashi candlestick analysis is, that's what CT2A is for. We talk about it there. I just don't have time to go over it in this video, unfortunately. For those of you who are in the know and do know what Heikin Ashi is, if you've gone through CT2A, you'll know what this is. We are looking at a green candlestick for the first time in a while, and that's pretty significant. Now, granted, these weekly candlesticks that we're looking at are a little bit young. They can develop. But because of what we're discussing on the short term, hopefully they're going to lock in this candlestick at least somewhere above where we're trading right now. We'll get to that stuff in a little bit. Point is, for right now, Heikin Ashi is looking bullish on the weekly chart and also on the daily chart, as you can see. Had a lot of red, had a whole lot of red here over the last couple of months. Whole lot of it. We are now in the longest green period for Heikin Ashi that we have seen in quite some time. We saw 5 candlesticks there, 3 there. We're looking at 6 candlesticks. We saw a spinning top pattern right here, which indicates indecision in the market, which indicates the ability for Bitcoin to go higher or lower. And instead of going lower, Bitcoin decided to go higher. So that's a good sign. It's a point in favor of the bulls. I know I'm going really quick here, guys, and I hope you're able to catch up. I know I talk quickly. If you need to, watch the video through another time or rewind. But there is a lot of analysis that needs to be gotten to in this video, so forgive me if I'm talking too quickly. The next thing I want to talk about here, guys, is actually the shorts and the longs chart. As you guys will know, the shorts have gone and jumped off a cliff, and the longs are still mooning. I mean, we're sitting at 47,600 longs. And if we look over here at Blockchain Whispers, which, like I said in yesterday's video, some people have dissed this website. I don't know about any controversy that's going on Blockchain Whispers, if there is any, and you guys have another place I can get this information, let me know. But for right now, this is the only website that I know of that compiles these 3 exchanges and their longs versus short ratios. So I am going to keep using it, at least for the time being, because I have no reason to believe this information is not accurate. As you guys can see, Bitfinex is sitting at over 90% longs, $360 million in long positions. BitMEX at 57%. We're looking at $350 million in longs there, with about 42% shorts. And even Binance, which was extremely bearish, we had like 80% shorts over there, is now sitting pretty 50-50. If you total those up, Blockchain Whispers anyway is calculating about $750 million worth of longs. 70% of trades are in long positions, and $318 million in shorts, meaning about 30% of valuation in leverage trades are in shorts right now. That indicates quite a lot of bullishness in the market. That indicates that even though Bitfinex was just doing its own thing for a little while, the other 2 exchanges, BitMEX and Binance, that Blockchain Whispers actually keeps up with, they're starting to get on board with the bullish sentiment that Bitcoin is actually going to start moving to the upside. And guys, that's really important, market sentiment. I mean, these videos in CT2A, they were made over a year ago, but one of them in here is market sentiment, the other is mass psychology. Those are two very important concepts in the cryptocurrency market. They're two that you need to pay attention to. And it's important that you guys understand what the sentiment is in the market, how bullish and bearish people are, because at the end of the day, technical analysis is completely useless if no one is trading based off of it. And if people are bullish because of the technical analysis, that can be a good sign or it can be a bad sign if you're a contrarian. But at the end of the day, I think this is a good sign right now. People are believing in the market again. And at the end of the day, if people don't believe in the market's not going to start rallying. People are going to sell and they're going to short. Okay, so good. We've done all that analysis. Bitcoin is bullish. I think we can all agree on that. We've seen a bullish breakout. We see MACD converging on itself. Bitcoin's getting above important moving averages. It's still above other moving averages. I forgot to remind you that we're still looking at bullish RSI divergence down here on the daily chart. I mean, there's so much that goes into this. Bitcoin is bullish right now. It's looking pretty bullish, actually. Over the last week or so, we've shifted from a pretty bearish standpoint to a quite a bit more bullish one as Bitcoin fell down here to this downtrending level of support and bounced. Ever since this movement right here, Bitcoin is looking far more bullish. And the fact that Bitcoin is coming up here and testing these same highs indicates to me that even though we've gotten above that 20 daily exponential moving average, that we are still in a decision point. So what is that decision going to be? Well, guys, as far as I'm concerned, there are two important decision points. The first decision point is going on right now. Is Bitcoin going to get above this horizontal level of support that we have drawn right about here? This level comprises a support zone back over here, a support zone right here, and most recent highs. That level of resistance is sitting around $7,700. The next level that I want to see Bitcoin break is that. I want to see Bitcoin get above 7.7. If Bitcoin can get above that, that's the important decision point for right now. But if Bitcoin can get above that, that leads me into the main point of today's video. Is Bitcoin about to start a new bull market? And if so, how is it going to start a new bull market? Because guys, I still stand by the analysis that we did over here. Bitcoin very well could go down to $5,300, and there are technical reasons to believe that. But as Bitcoin gets more bullish over the last several days, it's starting to look a little bit less like that's going to happen. And if what we predict in this video comes true, then it would probably invalidate that theory. To start a new bull market, it's relatively simple. Bitcoin needs to get above some very key levels. That level is not $7,700. That level was not the 20 daily exponential moving average. All of this right now is just noise short term in the midst of a much longer term trend. As you guys can see, Bitcoin has been moving to the downside. Someone put it eloquently in the comments section as like a semi-truck rolling downhill and someone jumping out in front of it and trying to push it back up. It's not going to stop the semi-truck from falling down the hill. It might slow it down a little bit, and maybe even if the dude's really buff and like the winner of Mr. Olympia or something is going to push the truck a little bit farther up, but the truck's still going to fall down the hill, right? The question right now is, how strong is that dude that jumped down in front of the truck? Is he going to be able to push us above important levels of resistance and start pushing the truck back uphill in a sustainable way? Or is the truck going to win and start just run him over? I mean, which one is it going to be? This is how we decide. Bitcoin has this long-term red downtrend of resistance that's below on the log chart. Furthermore, Bitcoin is below some very important levels of resistance, and one of those levels is the 20 weekly exponential moving average like I talked about a little while ago. Bitcoin needs to be above this level of resistance if Bitcoin wants to be in a bull market. Full stop. If Bitcoin's not above this, if it can't get above this, if it gets stopped out and rejected at the 20 weekly exponential moving average, Bitcoin will not go into a bull market. That's just the end of it. So with that said, that gives us the way that Bitcoin can start a new bull market. Bitcoin needs to get above that moving average. As you can see, that's what happened over here. Bitcoin started a new bull market and then rallied for 2 years. But when Bitcoin just briefly gets above this moving average and falls back below it, or when Bitcoin just straight up rejects off of it, a new bull market does not form. Bitcoin has to get above it and stay above it and get support on it and continue above it. If Bitcoin can do that, we'll be entering a new bull market. And there is reason to believe that something like that can happen, guys. I want to show you a couple of crosses that have happened and are going to happen. We saw the 50 and the 100 cross a few weeks ago, as I talked about. We saw that happen about 6 months into the previous bull market back in the beginning of 2016, and it led to a big rally. We've seen that same cross happen now back earlier in December. That's a good sign. And also, guys, one of the crosses that a lot of people aren't talking about that I think is coming up is actually the 20 weekly exponential moving average and the 50 simple weekly moving average. These two crossed at a very interesting time back in 2015. As you guys can see, these two moving averages crossed at the very beginning of the bull market. This ketchup and mustard cross, as it is on my chart, kicked off a 2-year bull market. And as you can also see, we saw the same thing happen at the beginning of our previous bull market. We saw that cross. Unfortunately, it looks like they're about to cross bearish. But if Bitcoin rallies quickly, the 20 weekly exponential moving average is a very quick reacting moving average. And if we can prevent this cross, this would be very bullish for Bitcoin. I'd like to see this come down and start moving away. I don't want to see these two moving averages. Let's get all this crap out of here. I don't want to see these two moving averages coming closer. I don't want to see them converging. I want to see them diverging. So what's the conclusion here, guys? I've done a lot of analysis. I've wasted a lot of breath saying some things that some of you guys have probably already heard. At the end of the day, this is what matters. Bitcoin needs to get above that 20 weekly exponential moving average, and it needs to get above this red downtrend of resistance. They're sitting at pretty much the exact same level right now, around $8,200. If Bitcoin goes to $8,200 and it breaks $8,200, it's a big if, but if it does that, we're probably entering a new bull market. And then from there, other price targets that I want to see hit is, first of all, I want to see Bitcoin go back to and above $10,000 to set a new higher high. I'd want to see Bitcoin go to 14 and then to 20, of course. We're moving into an important decision point because the thing is, guys, Bitcoin is going to create a new bull market either this year or in 2020. Probably in 2020, maybe even 2021. The question is not, is Bitcoin going to go into a bull market? I think we can all agree that yes, eventually Bitcoin is going to move into a bull market. The question rather then is, how is Bitcoin going to do that? Is Bitcoin going to pull back down to this 200 weekly simple moving average like we talked about potentially happening and then start a bull market? Or is Bitcoin going to take a shortcut and start it right now? I have given you guys a plethora of analysis to help you come to that conclusion on your own. Personally, I see a very strong argument for both cases right now because of how many things are really falling into place. I'm leaning more towards the bullish case shorter term, with Bitcoin starting a bull market relatively soon. But you also have to understand a lot of these bullish technical indicators were present back here in this market, and that didn't start a bull market either. What matters is not my opinion, it's not my take on the market, it's your opinion and your take on the market. I'm not making these videos to tell you guys what to do or what to trade or how to profit or anything. I'm telling you guys information so you can go and do your own thinking for yourself. So hopefully I've done that in this video. Hopefully I've given you guys information and ideas and thoughts that you can use in your own analysis and trading and investing to hopefully make you more profitable. At the end of the day, that's the goal of this channel, is to help you guys in your trading. If I was successful in that goal, tell me in the comment section down below. I'd love to get your feedback on this video down there. And I'd also love for you guys to join our first cohort community. We're going to be starting our coffee and crypto morning live streams over there on January 4th, I think it is. So if you're interested in that, that link is down below. I'll give you more information on that later. Anyway, guys, before we wrap it up, though, I do want to remind you of the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. This year, the channel has grown so much. We've doubled our subscriber count. We've done a face reveal. We've increased production quality. I mean, it's insane how much has gone into this channel. And I'm very happy about that, but you also have to understand the amount of things that have gone into this channel. They cost money. Payroll, there's expenses. I mean, this is a business. I'm not just some dude in the room making a YouTube video anymore. It's because of the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy that we are able to continue producing this quality content and increasing our production value, which we're looking to make a huge step forward in relatively soon. It's because of this amazing trade that we've set up here, where I give you guys information and knowledge and expertise on the markets in exchange for your generous support for the channel, that we are able to continue making these videos and increasing their quality. So guys, there are 34 videos here in the Academy. There's 10 hours of content. Next year, I'm looking to upgrade this to 50 videos and 15 hours of content and redo every single video in the Academy with everything I've learned in the last year, all free of charge to students who are already in here. I don't do DLC. If you're in the Academy, there are people that joined the Academy for $79 when it came out, and they're still getting access to free content when I upgrade the course. Guys, the price of CT2A is most likely going to be increasing in Q1 of next year. If you're in the Academy now, you're going to get access to all that free content, but if you wait and you join later, you're going to have to pay more because it's going to be worth more. Guys, everything in this Academy are things that you need to know. You need to understand mass psychology and market sentiment, how to plan and execute profitable trades. You need to understand how the market is actually a game of statistics and probabilities and never certainties. There's no certainties in cryptocurrency. I mean, in this video alone, we've talked about bull and bear markets, market structure, mass psychology, market sentiment, golden crosses, short and long-term analysis, trading and investing, MACD, RSI divergence, moving averages, Heikin Ashi. A lot of the things that we've discussed in this video that you've seen me do is taught in this Academy. So guys, if you want to support the channel and allow us to continue growing while also getting an amazing quality product that over 1,000 people have gone through, the link is down below. Use the Christmas 2019 coupon code at checkout to get $40 off. There's a 14-day money-back refund guarantee. No questions asked. I will give you all of your money back. All you have to do is email me and say, "Hey, Jeb, want my money back." And if you're not already, you can join our free Discord server and talk to some of our students in there and see what they think about CT2A to see if it is a good fit for you. But anyway, guys, I do appreciate you listening to my rants. I do appreciate you guys watching the video. And as you guys know, I do want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good feeling.